Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here. We're back with another online multiplayer battle.
Injustice Gods Among Us, we have not abandoned you.
Yeah, we've just taken a short break. We've been busy recently, so we haven't been able to upload as frequently, but hopefully we'll be getting back into the swing of things a little bit shortly. So we've got a brand new multiplayer team, and these guys are focusing on lower stat gold characters.
Right, so two of them are the console unlock exclusive, so it doesn't... So Batman Beyond, he's going to be our basic damage dealer. Black Adam's going to be your special specialist. And Prison Superman, because of his passive, he's going to be our tank.
Yeah, and because of his high damage in a low number of hits for his specials, he's going to be our Raven Killer also, if that comes up.
Right, because neither of the other guys has a good special, one-hit special.
Yeah, so these guys all have relatively low stats, and depending on whether you get the console unlocks or not, they're also relatively easy to unlock.
So the decision to tag in Batman Beyond is relatively easy to guard against Luchador Bane's stun, which we just did right there. Even though he wasn't geared to be really dangerous, and it's easy because Batman Beyond is our basic damage dealer. But alright, so the good thing about console unlocks is, even though, not everybody's got console, it is relatively time-wise an easy investment for getting them.
Yeah, an efficient investment for early golds, definitely.
And technically, if we were going to do that as the entire team, we probably should have done Arkham Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
But she's actually pretty good. Her stats are pretty good. I thought I'd stick in Black Adam, who sometimes gets a bit of the short end of the stick when people evaluate how good the golds are. Because he's actually amazing. He can reflect special threes or supers. And I think sometimes even when he gets knocked out on a super, he will still reflect the damage.
So this is not thematically low, as in like low kind of barrier for entry to get it. Is mostly low stats, but if you have console, it can be a little bit of both.
I mean, if you look at just stats, our regular team of Elseworld, Flash, and Containment Doomsday are, I think, as low, if not lower. But they're also challenge characters, which makes them really hard to get. So yeah, I'm hoping... We're sort of trying to highlight everybody's specialist. His special one does a huge amount of damage. Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, and his special two is kind of wimpy comparatively, because it's power drain. Yeah, but a special two with power drain feels a little bit weird because it feels like you're spending a lot of time working up for less damage.
Yep.
And there's enough power drain now that it feels weird to go all the way to a special 2 and you can even get as low as like Ra's al Ghul's Scimitar power drain, right?
Yeah, and we haven't done anything really funky with the gears either. I mean, if you look at the loadout on Black Adam, it's the special 1 kind of huge splash damage, and you saw that when Flashpoint Batman came in with really no health at all. And what makes this actually fun, because you can see, look at the variety of guys that we're facing. That's a huge advantage of playing a relatively low stat team.
Yeah, if only we were fighting guys with better gear, it would be maybe a little closer to balanced variety. But
maybe even a little bit more challenging. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I guess maybe it's a bit of sort of meta commentary. I mean, I still find... So I've been playing Injustice 2 for a bit. I still find Injustice 1 much more interesting, just because the strategy matters more. Because when you've got a sort of a full menu to pick from, then what you pick actually matters, as opposed to Injustice 2, which is basically you play with what you've got.
And I think that's because the part that was fun about grinding wasn't necessarily the grinding itself. It was more of what you could look forward to getting.
Yeah.
And
so... Holy crap, that was good.
Like, especially when you're fighting, like, non-online, you're not really getting too many interesting fights when you're grinding.
Yeah.
You're really just getting fights that give you money. And the problem is that for Injustice, you'd play and you'd actually earn enough to get stuff. And in Injustice 2, you'd play and you'd earn enough to get a fraction of stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
So the issue there is that Injustice is something that the grinding has kind of an inherent value in what you get. And it's an obvious value and it's a quick value. Or if you're playing a lot, you can get like, a gold pack a day, right?
Ooh,
or a couple.
Right. So this should be interesting because there's no crit. So this is probably going to be the most challenging fight of the 3. Or the compared to the 3 that we've had so far. All right, so actually, I want to talk a little bit too about some of the strategy because I think that's one of the sort of the feature added value that we give to this. So, Prison Superman, based on his passive, you'd think he'd be a good tank. But because of the way we've set up our team, there's nobody else that can fill the role of a Raven killer. So that's why we have to be prepared to use him as such. I mean, we haven't seen a Raven yet, but to me, the strategy would be to build up enough power, save it, and then let somebody else bring Raven down to the right amount of health.
Yeah, and then you could come in special 1 or special 2 if you like to live dangerously.
Yeah. Yeah, see, this gets frustrating because when you gear a team like we do for crit damage, any team that just avoids crit damage is going to be... it's challenging, but the key isn't that it's hard. The key is really that it takes longer because they've got so much more effective health, right?
Yeah.
Or we're doing so much less damage. I'm part of me is thinking that for at least Red Sun Green Lantern, if we can work it out that way, is to let him hit Black Adam with a special 1, and that would actually be more effective than any of the damage that we could do.
Yeah, that would be good if we could manage it.
Oh, this might be enough. There we go.
There we go. Oh, and this there we go. Perfect. Is gonna be enough too.
Oh, he blocked it. All right.
Like one.
It almost looked like he wasn't gonna.
Yeah, I thought he wasn't gonna block it either. There's the health regen.
Yeah, and part of me, I don't know if it still regens if you take it off, but it wasn't worth it to wait to get the health, right? When we could
That's
just
true.
bring in.
When we're so close to winning.
Yeah, and you don't want to buy him time to generate more power.
Yeah.
To knock us out. So almost a minute. I don't think we should have any other kind of trouble unless we see another full Red Sun with Red Sun Green Lantern team.
That's true. That's pretty close to as hard as it gets. Or like consistently messing up on Raven.
Yeah. All right, what do we got? That's an interesting name. All right, so nothing particularly challenging. Although now we're seeing some higher gear, right? So these guys are actually... All right, Batman might be a bit interesting with the power drain, but... Yeah. So there's still actually a lot of teams that I want to play. We've actually been waiting on this for a long time because we've been so busy personally.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't worry. There's a great line in a Joe Walton book where she says about books, if you love books enough, they will love you back. And I feel that same way about Injustice, that, you know, it's whatever else has come, it's been, I can't believe it's been this many years that a mobile game has remained as relevant as long. Some will argue that it isn't anymore because of Injustice 2, but I can't see that.
Yeah. I know people who still really like Injustice and have a lot of respect for it too. Like even just outside the community, like personally.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's cool. Yeah. Where somebody was saying the second game didn't look as good as the first game, and they're like, but I don't think any, like, I think very few mobile games could actually live up to the first one. And I didn't even know they had played it previous to that, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, see, if Wonder Woman had survived long enough, she would have been a good candidate because your special one does so much damage. It's one hit. You don't want a lot of hits, but Black Adam is perfect for actually making people... Oh, wow, that was a huge amount of damage. Yeah, not
We're going to have to update that eventually, huh?
I think I'm going to avoid that as long as I can. Wow, that was... Black Adam was so good. Again, I think he doesn't get enough credit for when they buffed his passive, because originally his passive was not nearly as good. It would reflect, I think, just the same damage instead of double damage on specials, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember when we first started and he was the first gold?
Yeah, I do.
And he was the most common drop,
like 10% chance in packs or something like that.
It seemed like it, yeah. Like if you're gonna buy a pack, most of the time you're gonna be getting Black Adam, and he was so good. Compared to what else you're getting, right?
Yeah. For early golds, he was definitely good.
All right, so let's recharge. Yeah, I don't think there's really any. I mean, this is another one of those teams where it sort of fights itself a little bit. You know what you've got, and you tag in and out depending on what you're facing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, nice. I love that combo interrupter. When they whack you and just get zapped. It really helps the rhythm, right? That's one of those kind of, I guess not unforeseen, but it's one of those parts of his ability that's not obvious until you actually play
Well, it makes
right?
me feel like the AI. It gives me the advantage of the AI, right? Because, when the AI blocks, your combo's interrupted.
Yeah.
But when you block, the AI gets free shots. Oh, this is sweet.
So you've got him. Come on.
It was still enough. Like, it...
Mostly killed him, yeah.
Yeah, really, the only thing holding Black Adam back from being, one of the best golds are his stats. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the 2-hit special 2. Oh, and just one.
I think they do some good stuff with their passives now, but I think passives like Black Adam's are actually probably among the best, just on kind of all the levels that a passive can be good.
Sure, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting, it's valuable, it's powerful, and it's something that you can actually strategize around.
That's right.
Like, something...
How useful it is depends a lot on how you use it.
Yeah, getting free specials with the Superman is interesting and cool and useful, but it's not something you can strategize around, right? And there's a lot of
passives. Oh, right, Man of Steel you're talking about.
Yeah, Man of Steel, sorry.
Where there's a random chance of getting something.
Yeah, we're getting free specials, stuff like that. But Regime Black Adam special works on almost every single level that a passive can work, and it works well. Mm-hmm. So swapping in and out to activate it, right, gives you kind of an opportunity to maybe even change that with something like a Hawk Girl, right, where there's actually like combinations of characters that are good for swapping out, can actually build up a bit of a theme just around him.
Right.
There's a lot of gameplay strategy. There's a lot of kind of intersection of mechanics as far as allowing you to start a combo after somebody gets hit,
right.
And it just feels good.
Yeah, I think we're going to... Ooh.
Yeah, and you don't feel as bad for not having blocked stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I think we're going to try something else. I mean, one of the things that people don't see when we're uploading videos is sometimes we have a bunch of gameplay video that we actually never end up using.
Yeah, footage.
Yeah. So maybe what we'll do is use our extras channel for something like this and put another Ultimate run without the commentary up on our extra channel, and we'll link that in the end cards and in the eye on the top right corner. Oh, that was too
of the
fast.
same team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So there we go. That was last fight, right?
Yep.
Nice.
And a good amount of bonus points. Last fight was a full maxed 5,000 points.
Yeah.
Not a bad team.
So there we go. That was the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Komoda.